Ahead of tomorrow's big debate, News 2's Carolyn Murray sat down with NBC's Lester Holt, who's in town to be one of the moderators. He spoke on how he's preparing for the debate and what his take is on the Holy City.
Your reaction to last night's debate, Lester?
It was raucous. It was raucous. I mean, it's what you expected. Maybe they weren't as hard on Donald Trump as I thought they would be, but there were some fascinating exchanges there, especially between Cruz and Trump. I think the answer on the birther question was fascinating. He clearly saw that one coming. But the Republican side and Democratic side, I mean, they couldn't be closer right now or more contentious.
So how do you go into preparing your questions for Sunday's debate when you consider what we saw last night? Will that be a big factor for you?
It's a group effort. We've been working now for weeks, refining questions, working from a master list. But each day we have to update because it has to be relevant to something that's happening right now. So certainly we watched last night's debate, and that will frame or help tee up some of the questions that we'll likely ask on Sunday. But again, we'll see where the news cycle ends up at the end of today and the end of tomorrow.
We've seen pitfalls during debates, certainly on the part of the candidates and on the parts of the moderators. So what do you intend to sidestep? What won't we hear from you?
Well, I keep reminding myself going into this is not a one-on-one interview, where I might be, really drilling somebody. It's not a news conference. It's a debate. I'm not part of the debate. I'm the moderator. And that is my guiding principle, that there are going to be 3 candidates on that stage. It's up to them to point out differences and to call the other out when necessary. I'm going to facilitate that. We've got, I think, some good questions that will help people understand the differences between these candidates. But I keep reminding myself I am not a debater. I'm there to facilitate this.
You spend your evenings with millions of people every night, but the debate audience is a very different audience. So how do you tailor your questions, and what do you consider when you think about being the moderator for this kind of event?
My position is the undecided voter. I represent that person. Clearly, there are going to be a lot of partisans watching, people who may not vote in a Democratic primary. I'm there for the people who will, likely take part in one of these primaries or caucuses. I'm their advocate. I want to ask the question that they're sitting at home thinking that will help them, that are relevant, that will help them decide who they want to vote for.
You might need to buy property here soon because you've certainly spent a lot of time in South Carolina this year for a lot of different reasons. You've become very familiar with the people here, right? I
have. I've made a number of trips, certainly this past year, but I've been here before. I love this town. I love coming to Charleston. Unfortunately, some of the stories that brought us here of late have been very, very difficult. But even in that, even in the church shooting, I saw another side of this town that I hadn't seen, which was this compassion, this reaching out to one another. It was a beautiful thing to watch in the midst of a horrible tragedy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we certainly enjoy having you here, and we appreciate all your work.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Seeing you Sunday. Thank you, Lester.
Thank you so much.